Hello and welcome to Designing Your DNA. We have a wonderful class planned for you today, and we're going to be kind of spontaneously looking at things to clear in the DNA once we've really gone through the steps for DNA obliteration. It's going to be a super fun day, and I'm so psyched, so jazzed to have all of you on the call. So yay! We're going to get started right away with the blessing, of course, and the love wisdom affirmation. So let's go ahead and get that up on the screen and we'll get started. And we are doing a special clearing today, clearing for right permission and ability to clear everything involved in poor DNA, which would mean having, once you were able to clear the DNA, you could also go in and easily find the other problematic programming that is affecting you negatively. So we're going to be doing that also today. All right, and we'll start with the love wisdom affirmation. So here we go, starting Designing Your DNA. You're in the right class. I'm free to live a life of spiritual freedom and full self-expression, liberated in love, gratitude, and mastery in this body here and now. My spirit is limitless. I'm responsible for any limits I experience in this body and have complete access to the divine through prayer and contemplation to release myself from any human bonds I've worn as spiritual clothing that no longer resonate with my essence. Removal of obstacles, the blessing Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurame Devo Sarva Kayeshu Sarvadam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parad Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Dum Durgaye Namaha Om Aim Saraswati Swaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, and we're going to jump into the hand movements. And actually, let's see here. Let me show you the clearing, the clearing we're going to be doing down the road, so you can get started with that now if you'd like to. I know we've established that as the way we do things, but this is kind of towards the end. So here we go. Right permission and ability to clear all related programming and interferences related to problematic DNA, removing domination, suppression, and control. I'll put this in the chat box for any of you who are going to need it. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get it all at once in one fell swoop. Copy. Yep, looks like that's going to work. And here it comes. There we go. And we'll just give you also the clearing headline, so to speak, so that you have that too. And you're going to be doing the quantum platter as you clear this. Okay, and then we're going to go now into, obviously this is skipping way ahead, but I know so many of you like to get started at the beginning of class, and why waste a second exactly, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about the quantum pump a little bit today and a lot about the DNA side slide. So the quantum pump is the very first pump that I got in the garden. So I was in the garden, my body was starting to regenerate, I'd been in unbearable pain, I refused the pain medication, and that's a really big deal for those of you who had been been on pain medication. They kept adding more and more because it wasn't managing the pain and I was passing out. So I had 9 Vicodin a day, plus a fentanyl patch, plus 2,000 milligrams of an anti-inflammatory, plus 3 tranquilizers, plus some hormone, some pregnancy hormone that loosened the joints up so that they weren't so painful. So that was, and on top of that, then there were digestive issues because of all the pain medication. So I was also taking these really, really nasty digestive pills and taking numerous ones of them a day, and they're supposed to make you go blind. And I went cold turkey off the drugs. It took me 11 days to go through the withdrawals on my own. I did it all by myself. I took hot baths to get off the drugs. I think twice in the 11 days I needed a tranquilizer because I was like hallucinating, and I knew I was hallucinating, but mostly I took like 5, 6 warm baths. I just kept getting in the hot bath and calming my body down as I was going through the withdrawals. And then I was in just a whole heck of a lot of pain. So I was off the pain medication, and I came to this awareness. God promised me the Garden of Eden, and I was living in hell on earth. I was in so much pain, and every year there was some other big crisis happening in my body. And so I went into my garden and prayer and meditation, and that's where I had this awakening and where my body began to shift and change. And I started seeing what was actually going on, how my body was coming to a whole new state of being. I saw a master cell in my mind's eye go to its God state, and that was incredible. We don't often have that kind of a vision, but I was given that vision, so I understood what was happening. That not only our spirit is God, but our physical body is also God. I always thought we were made of clay. That's what we read in the Bible. From dust to we shall return. But in actuality, as long as you are spirit and body holding onto this body, your body is also, all the particles of your body are God. And when we hear about saints who have just, been opened up after 70 years, I think Saint Bernadette and beautiful Saint Teresa, their tombs being opened and no decay and their bodies smelling like roses. So understand that we are that. And we just believe something different about our body, but our body is pure God essence. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about changing DNA, is really we have complete ability to transform and to change DNA. So, so the basic quantum pump came to me the very first day in the garden, and I felt my hand moving. And it was just, I was there watching this cell go to its God state, having this cascade of new cell growth beginning in my body. Within days, I was walking really well, and within 2 weeks, I was without pain, which is a complete miracle for those of you who've lived with that level of pain. You've got to understand what it was for me, being told I would probably never really walk well again. I would never walk without canes. And what they had predicted, what the doctors and physical therapists had said, you'll eventually end up in bed. They were at that time encouraging me to use a 3-prong cane with a seat so that I could take a break. I wouldn't have to stand anywhere. If I were walking somewhere, I could sit on my cane. So that was what they were predicting for me. They thought I was going to eventually go into the walker and then into bed. They thought I would not recover, but there was no prediction of recovery. So this was the first movement, and you can see it's a quantum pump. It's a basic movement. This movement works for every single thing, and it is 100% effective. It won't be the fastest necessarily for clearing, but it is 100% effective. So if you never learned anything but this would be effective for clearing DNA. This would be effective for regeneration. This would be effective even for clearing spiritual parasites and interferences. So this is the basic quantum pump. The fingers are just gently falling forward. I've stopped doing more of the extreme movements. We've had people mention that wrists haven't felt fantastic. So for me, this is going to work with a very, very slight movement. And then also you can have it down kind of closer to your leg. So you can see you can do it like this, down by your leg. if that helps, if it hurts or feels uncomfortable to keep your hand up here, this is the way I normally do it. So I keep my hand about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches off of my shoulder, directly in front. But you could also do it down kind of parallel to your leg. The double pump. And I always do it alternatingly, but I've seen people just as effective doing it at the same time. So you can do it at the same time. You can use either your right or left hand. I always suggest the right hand because the right hand is the outer assertive hand and the left hand is the receptive hand. I'm often reading from this palm, so I'm not always sitting in the center of my head when I'm working on everybody. I've got other things that I'm processing, and so I can just look here with my hand. And we'll be talking about that some in the intuition inner vision class that's coming up in just a week or so. So if some of you want to learn how do you read from your hand, or how do you read from the center of your head, or how do you read from your belly, we'll be talking about that in intuition inner vision class. So that'll be an excellent class to jump into. So the reason that this is working is that there's a strong intention. We're seeing something completely fulfilled. We're clearing something. And we're accessing the quantum pleasure field. So the combination of these two things, the thought of clearing it, seeing it cleared, and then the hand movement allows the particles in the quantum field that are yours, or if you're working on a client. I know this is an apprentice class, so half of our class are apprentices. So if you were working with a client, it's the intention in the mind and then pumping. And that's gonna make the miracle. Of course, you have to have permission, right? We all know that. Okay, so we've reviewed the quantum pump, and we've reviewed the double pump. And Adalia is extremely happy today. And if you haven't heard, we have kind of passed the test with the adoption, and we had our final home visit on Monday, and he congratulated us. So we've got just a couple more steps to go. A doctor visit. She has to get some shots and get signed off from the doctor, which is no big deal. That's Friday. And then papers need to be presented to the court. So you want to come up here and tell everybody? Come on up here and tell everybody our good news. Come on, big girl. Are you just so happy? Come tell everybody. Tell everybody. Oops, you got your foot caught in the... Here we go. Let's do that one. Okay. Adelia wants to tell you all how happy she is. Did you want to tell people? Yes. So tell them what happened. Tell them Luke came. Luke came to visit. And, okay, here we go. Tell them. Say, Luke came to visit and he said the adoption is finalized in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And Mommy and me belong together forever and ever and ever. And we are so happy. We are so happy. We are the happy, happy girls, aren't we? We're the happy girls. Can you tell everybody that? Okay, sweetie, are you ready to go sit in your swing and be a little bit more quiet so Mommy can talk? Now that you told everybody how happy you are, why don't you sit here for a while? Okay, there you go. I know you're so happy. Here we go. Now take nice care of Teddy Bear. Okay, so we are celebrating. We were outside playing before we came on the call. So the sun is shining and it's about 70 degrees here. And Adelia is starting to take her first steps with Mommy holding onto her hands. It's so exciting. And we're just, like, I could cry right now. I'm so happy. So we're gonna have a great class today. Yeah, yay. Okay, so the quantum, we talked about the quantum pump. I am crying now, so I'm so happy. I've been crying a lot lately. I don't know what that's about. I guess it's heart open completely. Oh yeah. You want to be part of it, huh? You want to be part of the happiness. Okay, but you have to be a good girl here, okay? No big screaming up here, all right? No big screaming, so Mommy can teach. Okay, good go. We're starting to look for a Mommy's helper so that she can play She loves being part of the class, but she's got a big voice, and now that she's sleeping through the night, she's really talking during the day with a big voice. We need a little baby voice if you're going to help mommy with the class. So the DNA side slide is this one. Now, if you have a baby in the arms, you can start out here and go like this. And we used to teach it where it was kind of you came here and you swung down. And so it was more twisting with the wrist. And so that's where the platter actually started from. So that was how we used to teach it. And then you'd flutter across your chest. You'd flutter across. But now that we were teaching the platter, keeping the wrist pretty stationary, we're coming down and across like that. So it's a little bit more down, but not significantly. Do you want your milk or you want your teddy? Some milk? Okay, you can have milk. All right, sweetie. You got milk on your face too. Okay. All right, so if you were not having a baby, you would do it across your chest. So you would have your elbow kind of anchored here, and you would do this and then across, this and across. And what you're really imagining is going across the DNA strand, the 46 components that are 22 mother, 22 father, and 2 God strands. So you're going across that long strand and you're clearing it, and you're clearing all the parts of the strand or the particles that are vibrating poorly for you. And in our meditations, we imagine it as black dots lighting up. Yeah, that's how you do it. Do you want to try that? Shh. Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly like that. That's really good, honey. That's really good. And so, so this is the DNA side slide. The only other place that we use the DNA side slide is sometimes in timeline clearings. If we're doing a really big timeline clearing, we're probably going to put in a special class on timelines for those of you who are really wanting to dig deep. We have kind of a general description on timelines, cycles, karma, and spirals. And I think it would be so helpful for those of you who want to really understand it on a deeper level, how each of those are different, and yet how each of them, things, programs, anchors can get stuck, and then we have issues that we need to clear for that. So I'm looking at putting a class in pretty quickly on all the different kinds of timelines that we deal with. And so, and DNA is really a timeline in itself. If you look at it, it's an incredible storage of information that comes down from more than 20 generations. And so one of the things that we discovered, and please pumping on the clearing, that's a big clearing that we're doing today. As I mentioned in the last class, Stanford and the big tech institutes have discovered that they can store your records, your birth records, your business. I mean, they can store records on like your house sale, your purchase and land and property, intellectual properties. It can store it all. They can splice it into the DNA. And so, I mentioned this last week, but you might not have caught it, but there was an article in the San Francisco Business Times talking about how excited they were that they're now using human DNA in living humans to store information. And when we look at our clearing charts, there are a number of, I haven't counted it up, there might be 6 or 8 aliens who do DNA splicing, which is storing information in the DNA, right? And so when we're looking at problematic DNA, that is one of the places we want to look. We want to look at, did somebody splice something into our DNA? Since in the realm of humanity, this just is happening in the last year, the DNA splicing. So I wouldn't think that we'd be seeing anything spliced in that we didn't know about from our ancestors, from humanity. But from spiritual interferences, and we look at the spiritual interference chart and look at which of the interferences have the capacity to splice into the DNA, and put their information in or store information in our DNA. I find that fascinating. So we're looking at that. We may do a blueprint clearing on that also if there's something that it comes down to. Oh my goodness, are you that thirsty? Oh my goodness. So just to have that conversation and start talking about that, and why do some people really struggle? You know, if you've had a lot of alien splicing in your DNA, we've never talked about this candidly in any class. So I think we're talking about designing DNA. We're talking about really owning our DNA, right? And if you have information stored from aliens, so you're not owning your DNA. You might own the parts of it that are authentically you, and then the parts of it that are not authentically you are in there too. And so that's ownership of a percentage of your DNA information, which might be a fantastic clearing to work on as I'm talking about it. I think we'll create that in next week's class. I'll just need to make myself a note that we add that to the class. But to really look at clearing all DNA splicing from any alien. And so we can go down the list of any aliens, and then all 50 of you, we have 50 people in this class, or 54, I think, something like that. And we will clean out your DNA. And then we'll also look at, let's see here, full ownership, which we started with, ownership to be able to transform it. The blueprint, I think we need to look at the human blueprint and see if there's something that allows them to splice. Maybe we even look at how they're splicing, because DNA shows up in a number of places in the blueprint. DNA shows up, of course, in matter, physical. It also shows up in the energetic body, DNA does. So the chakras and the aura, meridians, that kind of thing. And embodiment and genesis, we see DNA. And then quantum, which is, it's part of the DNA, are composed of the particles vibrating. So we can look at, in a more serious way, how do we really own our DNA? I think today we had really wonderful, what I've got planned for us is to go through and start just clearing DNA, just kind of let's clean house. Sweetie, can I put you in the chair so I can get a little closer and do some muscle testing? Will you sit in the swing and have your milk? Such a good girl. You're such a big helper. Here we go, sweetie. Mama's going to give you your milk. Here. Yeah, here it is. Wait a minute. It's okay. We're going to give you your milk. You can have the rest of your milk. Here we go. Would you like the rest? Here, but you can't wiggle too much. You wiggle too much, it'll fall out. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of comments coming in, and does anybody need me to do a muscle testing demonstration? I'd like to skip that today. I know none of you are new, and I know it's always nice to review muscle testing, but I think we've got so much to cover. I'd really like to just stay on the DNA topic. So as long as everybody's okay with that, we'll do it in every other class. Okay, let's put this back up, this slide back up. I'm going to address, so you're going to be able to look at what we're clearing. I'm going to address the comments that have come in so far today, which have been lots of comments today. And then we'll do the next thing. Okay, so Diane and Kathleen Liu and Colleen Madonna and Maria and Trevor and Dale and Anneli and Roxanne, Limmy, Karen, Philippe, Leanne, Amy, Saval, Janine, Louisa, Sabrina, Vivica, Bruce, Anita, Chantel, Trinity. Happy Women's Day. Thank you. Big blessings to all. Yay, it is Women's Day. It's wonderful. And Sean. Hi, Sean. And Louisa. Oh, okay. I don't know, Louisa. I'll put it on a list. It doesn't come as real strong. I think that one of the things but you could pump for it. You could just pump right permission and ability to remove drug residue, removing domination, suppression, and control. I have done a number of things. There's outer things that you can do to actually pull it out. So I take bentonite baths. I do foot baths sometimes that draw toxins out of the body. There's chelation that you can do. Those are all wonderful things to help with removing residue from drugs. Margot, Kathy, Leanne, cold turkey 3 years ago. Good. So we have several people who've done cold turkey. Chantel, when we do this work, whatever we are working on in DNA, improving eyesight, etc., do we need to have our feet planted on the ground, or can we be seated without feet touching on the ground? Does it matter? I don't think it really matters. I think that you need to feel grounded, though, Chantel. I don't need to have my feet on the ground to do it. If you feel ungrounded, then you probably want to. So it's up to you. But there's no rule about have your feet on the ground. Sean, last time you said we would discuss resets more in depth this class. Yeah, we do have that resets. Could you explain more what we need to do to ensure things stay the way we want them to? And that is part of a slide. So when we go through the presentation, we'll get there. Congratulations, this is wonderful news. And that's about Adelia. I pumped to clear vitality in all categories while walking. I tested they were all 100%. And that's Trinity. Yeah, like 98%. It's really good, Trinity. Vivica, thank you so much. And Janine, thank you. She is so aware. She is really aware. Sabrina, congratulations. Thank you. And yay from Kathleen Liu. She's like the sun in her shininess. So happy for both of you. Thank you. Saval, so happy. Maria, congratulations. Julie Renee, how lucky Adelia to be your daughter too. Oh, wow. And congrats from Louisa, and so happy from Leanne, sorry. Anita, I got blinked off. So we are holding the intention to clear a specific issue. Anita, we're actually just doing the platter, and we're clearing what's up on the screen right now. And Chantel, that is okay. It's wonderful to hear happiness. Great news. So happy for you and Adelia. By the way, happy Women's Day to you and to all the ladies on the call. And that's from Oksana. Jackie, thank you. Feel so much love. Oh, wonderful. Trinity, oh my gosh, yes, timelines and cycles. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know, it's just coming really strong that we need to spend some time on that. And how do we clear for other people, family, or pets? The same way you clear for yourself. They're sitting in front of you, maybe 4 feet in front of you, and you're clearing them. That's the best way, is that you're sitting together. And they have permission. You've given them permission. So that's the other part of it. We're not doing the quantum pump or the flutter. We're doing the platter. Platter, platter. Sound of sci-fi, creepy. Why on earth would someone probably want that? Anita, you know, it's scientists. They're like, oh, we can do this. The DNA splicing that humans are doing is because, you know, a floppy disk from 10 years ago is completely out of date and can't be used. So this information has to keep being moved and stored in other places. And even thumb drives are going to be outdated probably in a couple of years. So they just thought, well, this is something that lasts hundreds of years. So that's why they're doing it. Love the blueprint clearing idea. Splicing DNA feels great. Thank you, Trinity. Chantel, I mean, we're doing the platter. Yes, platter. Blueprint clearing on DNA would be great from Saval. Janine, I had some alien interference happen to my girlfriend and myself. I'm not sure what happened, but we did lose about 30 minutes of time. Also, my health has not been 100% since. Very interesting. So to pump back to, you know, resetting yourself to where you were before. Philippe, yes, I like the blueprint clearing too. Okay. Yes, please, at some point. Great. Okay. Okay, thanks for the answer. You're welcome. And Jane, how long do we have to do the clearing for, or do we just muscle test to see if it's clear. We clear these. We'll get to 0 in the class on the DNA clearing that we're working on. So you can muscle test, but we'll get to 0. You're with me, so I'll make sure that you get to 0.
All right, sweetie. Did you push it down a little bit too far? Here. Hang on just one second. There. There. You pushed it down, didn't you? Yeah.
Adelia just yesterday figured out how to pick up her bottle and get the nipple into her mouth. So we were sitting at the table out with our friend Uncle Tommy, and she actually took the bottle from the table and put it in her mouth, but she couldn't quite lift it because it was a little too heavy for her. So she's very, very much learning everything really quick. Okay, Sean, with thyroid and pancreas, for example, do we just pump the gland to 100% vitality, or do we need to go through issues that may arise in each gland? I have diabetes as a 4-year-old, so I'm thinking I need to pump on the pancreas. Yeah, let me come on the screen and talk about that. So we did the examples of clearing the DNA, and that's phenomenal. If you're really needing to regenerate parts of your body, I'd love to see you in Year of Miracles. I really love to see you, because we really regenerate the glands and the organs in the body. Okay, you're done? Okay. Do you need a burp? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. So you could try on your own to pump for like the pancreas. But what you're going to be doing is cellular neogenesis, and it's so amazing to go through a year of regenerating all the glands and organs in your body. We really do get everything. So actually, this coming week, so not this Friday, but the next Friday, we'll be regenerating the pancreas as part of the digestive system, I believe. I'll have to look at the list, but it's a big, long list. There's like, I don't know, 18 things that we regenerate in the digestive system over 3 hours. So it's a really perfect place. And we do the pancreas. So we do some of them multiple times during the year. So you get a multiple regeneration. Be gentle with mommy. Be gentle with mommy. We also do the pancreas in the endocrine tune-up that we do. So you're going to get it multiple times, and that would be phenomenal. Did I miss some? Or did just a bunch more stuff come? Oh no, let's see. Oksana, I got tested last month for hyperthyroidism positive. Okay. Why? Mommy is not a play gym. Do you want to play in your play gym? Yeah. Do you want to pull on things? She has a mission of ripping everything down right now. So I think instead of working on trying to break Mommy's necklace, let's put you down in the play gym, okay? All right, here we go, little one. Here we go, little one. There. You work on pulling the bunny down. You work on pulling the bunny down? That would be better. Okay, all right. So clearing, since I need the thyroid at 100% healthy to become pregnant. That's true. So this isn't a regeneration class. This is a clearing class. But once you've cleared it, you have to regenerate it. So once you cleared the DNA, then you have to clear this, which we do. So this is the charts, all the charts. And we do that in Year of Miracles. That's where we do it. And then we do regeneration. So we do the clearing and regeneration in Year of Miracles. So that would be, but you can try it on your own. And I've given you the instructions on regeneration. So you can all try it on your own. So anytime you clear something, you can work on the regeneration steps, the cellular neogenesis. But in the container being really held in my arms, as I love you and help your body regenerate, it's a very, very powerful shift. So if you can swing getting into Year of Miracles, I highly recommend it. Yeah. Okay, Sean. Let me think. Um, are you in the foundation? You're in the first level, I think. The Trailblazer level actually gets the Year of Miracles. So I think there's 10 of you on the call right now that already are in Year of Miracles. Okay, so, and let's see. Sean, I'm just trying to think of when we're going to do that in Apprentice, but you can also send me an email through support@julierenee.com and ask the question, and I can take a look and see. Something, it looks like something we're going to do regeneration in June for your group, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm doing Apprentice this year. Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Well, let's stay with this chart. Slides, and let's move through because we need to look at resets, which are going to be important to understand. Today, nuts and bolts of DNA obliteration, health, love, money, challenges. In today's class, we'll learn how to reprogram the DNA. And we just went through the DNA obliteration hand movement, which is called the quantum side slide or the DNA side slide. So now let's talk about DNA obliteration, and then from DNA obliteration we'll go to resets. Okay, so here are the two techniques. You're going to have one technique. Essentials. Okay, thanks. I'll look for you, Sean. I'm just going to stay on track here, though, during class. Okay, so we have two techniques. We have the quantum side slide. Quantum side slide. That actually should be side slide. And we have the meditation process. So you've all used the meditation process by now, right? I want everybody to have used the meditations that we provided. We provided a longer one, and we provided a shorter one. And we have in our wealth class, we have a DNA meditation. In the Beautiful from the Inside Out class, which is a premier class for women, there are 6 DNA meditations. So it's pretty phenomenal because we're really looking at reversing aging in the Beautiful class. So in meditation, you're going to ground, clear, and release, and you have your guided meditations. Sit in the center of the head. Imagine a clothesline with streamers hanging down. Imagine all failed DNA as the areas clearing shows up as black dots. So if you were clearing problematic thyroid issues, you'd imagine all of that is lighting up as black dots. And then you'd use a little golden vacuum cleaner and vacuum out all the black dots from the clothesline. And then imagine repairing or replacing the good components. So once those black dots were out, just like magic aura spray, when there's a hole in the aura, you want to just fill it back in with a good component, like my thyroid works perfectly. And then the second one, which is what we're really working on in this class, is the side slide. Identify the DNA issue to be cleared with muscle testing. Identify approximate time to clear. Use the quantum side slide pump. And imagine new or the fresh component coming in. So you're first going to test and see that it's all clear. And then you can imagine the new component coming in. And then pump, as in cellular neogenesis, to replace and remove items with new, better material. And muscle test for completion. So that's actual process of DNA obliteration. And then just really literally another minute or so, you focus on what we call the resets. And you're going to want to do it with meditation. She's really fun. I'm sorry, she's noisy today. She's noisy every day lately. So on the resets, you can, once you've tested, the DNA is cleared and you've got the new information, healthy thyroid in there, or healthy pancreas, or whatever that test is, yes. So do I have a healthy pancreas and thyroid in my DNA? No. I have a healthy pancreas in my DNA. have a healthy thyroid in my DNA, yes. So I need to work on my pancreas. I had hyperglycemia way back when, and my pancreas is a little strained with waking up so much with the baby. So I need to freshen that up, but also I need to take whatever program is in the DNA out, which we did last week, but I didn't work on myself. I worked on you guys. So, so once you've got a test, healthy thyroid, 100% healthy thyroid, so I've got that. Then the reset, you can just pump for like 60 seconds that the reset, so you're going to set an intention, the reset holds the new information. So you're removing the old information so that it doesn't come back online. Just like a computer, it'll restore itself and come back online and all the old programs are there, right? So you can shut it off because everything's going chaotic and it'll clear itself out and go all back to the old programs. Well, in this one case where we're clearing the thyroid to 100%, and then about 60 seconds it takes for the reset.
What, honey? It's kind of noisy. I know. I know. Do you wanna come up and help for a little bit? Okay, you can come. That was a good yes. That sounded like yes. Okay, you can come. Okay, we're gonna look this way, but you can't touch the keyboard. You gotta put that keyboard away. Okay, good. And so the reset is really you're setting the intention, you know, and it's just particles vibrating in the field. Well, no wonder you were making noise. Those were some big burps. Teething. Okay, and so you're doing 60 seconds about, and you're just going to test is the reset done? Yeah. And so will it hold? Will the new program hold? And I get a yes, the new program will hold. Very good. So that's the reset, and that's how you do DNA obliteration. Let's go down to the chart. I'm going to put that back on the screen, see where we're at with the chart. Because what I'd like to do now is just pick a few things from a list that I have here that we can clear one by one. And these are not quite as big deals as last week when we were clearing glands. Let's see. Yeah, and we're 199, 98%. Let me blast. That's probably just something that needs a little bit of a blast to get the final clearing on. And I had this impression, so let's just see. In the blueprint, any of these that do DNA splicing, are they in the blueprint? Okay, any of these causing problems from the human blueprint on DNA? Reticulin B is? Okay, so the reticulin B, which has the DNA splicing. Yeah, so that could be something that we could do a clearing in the blueprint, not when Adelia's in my lap, though. Yeah, not when you're in my lap. Okay, so I'm just going to blast for just a minute. And then what we want to look at are some clearings that we can do in the DNA. And here I have immune system strength, hair and balding patterns, nervous system problems, love and relationship at survival level, and attracting an abusive partner. These are all things that, of course, have shown up in people's DNA that we could clear. So this is a list that I thought might be nice to be using for that. Also, I think we've talked about DNA of others. And so if you've had others' DNA, like you had, I had tissue transplant. I had a hole in my chest and they used cadaver tissue to fill in skin that was completely gone. And so I had a transfusion, so I had someone else's blood in my body. So I've got DNA information from others,
that always needs to be cleared when I'm clearing DNA. So not just my DNA, but others' DNA is also informing my body how to respond. Okay, so you could start doing the quantum slide for the immune system strength. Okay, and it's the chart is 100%. Okay, the walk-ins are cleared. Everything is cleared from the first chart. So we're going to do the immune system strength first, and that's going to be about 3 minutes of doing the DNA obliteration process. So if anybody's unclear about that, I'm just going to show you one more time. So it's the immune system strength that we're going to do, and then we're going to cross over. So we're going to cross over. Yeah, yippee skippy. We're going to cross over. Yes, we're going to cross over. We're going to cross over, cross over. So what you're imagining is that the DNA is being cleared, and this symbolically in your mind's eye, your hand making that slide is clearing off the DNA. And you're going to do that. I tested for 3 minutes. So that's on the list of how that works. You test how many minutes am I going to be doing this. Now, if you're able to read with your left hand will tell you, oh, you're done. And you'll get an awareness that'll come to you. Oh, I'm done. This one is done. I don't need to do this anymore. Okay. We're going to do this on the immune system for 3 minutes. So we'll go through all 5 of those clearings. And yeah, I see a bunch of questions coming up. So let me pop up what we're clearing, and you guys can just stay with the side slide, and then we can do, once we complete one at a time, then we can go to the reset, and we can test. So immune system strength. So if you have a weak immune system, we're clearing weak immune system is what we're doing. And then you'd be having an intention to set a strong immune system in there. And then you would be going in and doing just some basic pump, not the side slide, for the reset. So the basic pump would be the last thing, about 60 seconds. Okay? All right. Oh, and by the way, Sean, there's a meditation. It's called Happy Hormones, and it's got men's track and women's track. Sean, but that has the regeneration. I'm sorry, I just remembered it now. The regeneration of the thyroid and the pancreas, the Happy Hormones, and then the DNA stem cell meditation has the thyroid in it, and something else. So those are places in meditation where you could find the regeneration process. Are we going to get the slides as a reminder? You are definitely getting the slides, Chantel. That's in your member site. You get all the slides. We pick up one thing on your list, or are we doing all of them one at a time? So it's immune system first. Is it often that the reset is needed more than once? If you clear the reset, Severina, it never needs to be reset again. It shouldn't. It should be completely, entirely cleared. One of the things, though, that is on this clearing slide that isn't on a separate slide, it could be, is once DNA is shifted through meditation or quantum slide, consider additional clearing using charts. So if you were working on, the pancreas, you would also go through the charts, and if there were bloodline or clan, or there was something else that needed clearing, you would clear all of that. But the DNA stays cleared, so the DNA doesn't go back. No, with pregnancies, you have the baby's DNA, husband's DNA, that kind of thing as the baby is developing. But when the baby's born, the DNA leaves your body and it doesn't become part of your body. And that was from Anelli. Oksana, is pumping effective during movement, yes, for instance, while driving or jumping on a trampoline. Very effective. Yeah, that's why we do the flutter, to show you that you can be out walking or jumping or whatever you want and use the flutter. But you can use the pump too. How do we know when something is suitable to work on in the area of DNA rather than other areas? Everything is suitable to work on in DNA. Every single thing. Perfect. Happy hormones. Exactly, Sean. Okay, and Trinity, I feel flutters in my abdomen as we clear the immune system. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't you pull on mommy's hands. That's not nice. Gentle with mama. Gentle with mama. Gentle with mama. Adelia, can I tell them all the things that we've changed? All the things that we made better for you? So Adelia had addiction. Yes. She had a lot of things when she came to mommy. And I was reflecting on that this week and just weepy, happy for all the things that the quantum pump and these clearings allow us to do, don't they? So when Adelia came to me, she had, here we go. Adelia had terrible, terrible nightmares. She would wake up just screaming bloody murder every time. It wasn't just infrequently, it was every single time she fell asleep, she'd wake up just screaming, and her eyes would be closed, so she'd still be in the nightmare. And I'd have to work at getting her eyes open and then showing her, kissing her and hugging her and smiling at her and telling her mommy loves her. She had terrible fits of anger. That's also in the DNA and programming, and also two kinds of spiritual parasites, type 3 and 7, that were really sent as control beings from the birth father that we removed. And those fits of anger are completely gone. They're just completely gone. She used to have tantrums where she'd, and this is newborn and small baby, because she's only 5 months old, where she would kick and hit and scratch me and literally just claw me like a wild animal and growl. And we removed all of that. It's completely gone. Adelia has an amazing energy and joy and presence. And, you know, you can start with something that's not ideal. And you can, I mean, I'm in tears and in awe of how much transformation has happened. And when you see her with her dolly, it's really, to me, just this testament of how much has shifted and changed for her. She hugs and kisses her dolly. And she gets up sometimes around 5:30. I'm ready to get up at 6. So once in a while, I'll take her into bed with me. She's now sleeping in her own little portable crib. But she'll play by herself if I don't get her up. Yeah, you will. But I brought her into bed with me 5 days ago, about 10, 15 minutes early. And she was kind of like this on me. And I was laying down and I was just telling her how beautiful she was. And she went in for a big smoochy kiss. And how babies kiss is they open their mouth. And she opened her mouth and put it on top of my mouth. And then she put her mouth on each of my cheeks. And she kept going back and forth like 6 or 7 times. And so my whole face was slobbery wet with kisses. And that's how she is with her babies too. Her baby doll, she just loves to kiss her baby and hold and be gentle. And it's funny because she can be a little wild and kicky on her own. And I encourage her to work out her stuff, you know, so she's got something to work out, do it in the play gym. But if the baby is in her arms, the baby doll, she just stays really still And she's really gentle with the baby doll. So you want to show them your teddy bear? You want to show them your teddy bear? So she's learned that there are places that she can have her vibrant, rough and tumble energy. And there's places that are appropriate to be gentle. And it's pretty new, me going back to wearing jewelry. I've only worn jewelry for about a week. So she doesn't have that quite figured out yet. Yeah. But I just think about, starting from the very beginning with your children, if you have small children, start clearing the DNA, the problem DNA, and the problem programming, the problem spiritual interferences right from the very beginning. Okay, sweetie. You just want to go. Go, go, go. We're going to go outside in a little bit. Okay? So can Mommy put you in the swing? Here, let's go in the swing this way. Okay. There you go. She is going to be an amusement park girl. This is her favorite way to be. All-time favorite. This is it. This is the best. This is the best ever. Okay. Yeah, for both of us. I mean, I get to do the mommy thing and make it easy for her, and it makes it easy on me too. So I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm sure we're through the immune system, so let's put this slide back up. Are we? Yeah. Okay, so we're through the immune system, and let's see. Did we do the resets? No. Okay, so everybody pump for the reset. Did they pump for the healthy immune system? Oh, no, you didn't. Okay. So side slide for 2 minutes on healthy immune system. Side slide. So side slide on the healthy immune system for 2 minutes here. And then we'll move into the reset where we're just going to do the regular quantum pump for a minute. And you are welcome to take on any of these or ones that you'd like. But these are all things that I've seen on a regular basis that are great to clear from the immune system. So and I see we're almost at the end of class. So just a reminder, and I know many of you are apprentices, and I love that we have such a beautiful group of apprentices. But we're certifying 150 people this year. So if that's something that you would like to be part of that inner circle, please join us. And then also Year of Miracles is incredible. And and we're doing digestion next week. So big clearing next week and regeneration next week. And then here are all the upcoming classes. I'd love to see every single person who participates in our class in the technology keynote. Inner vision, intuition is awesome. Tumors, growths, and cysts, a brand new class. So if you know somebody or you have this issue, this is great. Also, it's an extra class. It's not part of the apprentice class because I just added it. But if you're wanting to work with others, you're wanting to be a practitioner, that'd be a great class to jump into. Muscle testing, we're going to review muscle testing again, coming up really soon. Prostate reducer, advanced interference, sleep invaders, walk-in. So we've added a bunch of classes just in the last couple of weeks. Anti-allergies is going on right now. 100% vitality, quantum shift arthritis. These are all very exciting classes, Hearing Restored. Our free class is New Beginnings. That's coming up in just a couple weeks. Okay, let's see. We're going to do 1 minute of quantum pump for resets. So you're just going to pump like this for resets. So we've got the reestablishment of a good immune system information in the DNA. Now we're going to do 60 seconds of reset. So that's going to be the last thing that we're doing in class today. And I'm going to end the class with, let's see. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamisoma Jyotirgamaya Murchormaham Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May the entire world and your life be filled with peace. Tatastu, so be it. I love you. God bless you. I'll be in the chat box for a few minutes. And do consider doing some homework this week. Use your meditations and also that list. So we've got another 4 things that you can be working on in the list. Okay, much love. And we're all celebrating together. The sun is out. Delia and I belong to each other. And life is good. I love you. God bless. Bye-bye for now.